Hey guys, Eli Roberts here, and today we're going to talk about cold email infrastructure. Let's dive in. When you think of cold email, you probably think of words like spam or do not call me again. But that reality couldn't be further from the truth, because every day, billion-dollar organizations are using cold email to become wealthy. From Apple to Abercrombie & Fitch, cold email is powering the biggest businesses that you see every single day. Back in 2022, my recruiting agency brought in north of $40,000 in 1 month. And how did I do it? You guessed it, cold email. Today, we're going to go into the infrastructure of cold email and how you can utilize it to get great results in your business. Let's dive in.
If you look here at the screen, you can see we have cold email infrastructure. So that's what this represents. It actually represents the idea of cold email infrastructure. But when you look closer into this idea, you see that the idea branches off, or the concept branches off into 3 other points. There's really more involved here, but to keep it simple, we're going to divide the campaign or the infrastructure into 3 parts. And the first part here is the domain provider. All right, so you can see we got the domain provider here. And if you scoot on over, you will see Porkbun domains. So I use Porkbun domains for my domain names. And you can use who you want to use. You can use GoDaddy, you can use a variety of hosts out there and domain services. But I use Porkbun as well as a lot of people in the lead generation industry because they're fairly affordable. Sometimes when I go to porkbun.com, the domains are $10. Other times they are $7. And I've also seen them as low as $3 or $4, like if there's a major sale. But Porkbun seems to have domains that are a little bit cheaper and more sales than I would find on GoDaddy. So in the world of domains, you could purchase your domains from wherever you'd like, but I use Porkbun. The other reason I like Porkbun is because it's fairly easy to set up. If you are dealing with cold email infrastructure, the reality is that you're going to have I'd say minimum of 35 to 40 email addresses for any campaign. And that's getting you up there at around 1,000 emails a week. Not 1,000, 1 to 2,000 emails a week, which I think is pretty good. Side note, for every 1,000 emails you see, you should get at least one interested prospect. If you send 10,000 emails and you only get 2 or 3 interested prospects, something's wrong in your campaign. Whether it's the offer or it's the headline or you're just not talking to the right audience or you're not emailing the right individual in the actual company that you're reaching out to. But as a rule of thumb, if you are not receiving one interested prospect for every 1,000 emails you send, there is something terribly wrong. And I recently just had a campaign with a similar issue. Another story for another day. But anyway, that's why I like Porkbun. When you're making, dozens of email accounts that you're setting up and you're buying and propagating dozens of domain names for any given campaign, Porkbun makes it fairly easy. And I like the way that their system's laid out. So that's that. We're going to go to the next tier in the diagram, and you see something called email hosting. And if you scoot on over here to this part of the diagram, you see a website called SiteGround. So SiteGround is a website that I use to host my emails or my email servers as well as my websites. You can go, again, wherever you want to go, but when it comes to top tier, level one, professional email marketing campaigns, to my knowledge, the guys at the very top, they're using Microsoft email servers, and those are about $4 a month per mailbox. Me, I'm using SiteGround for my current campaign, though I also use Microsoft. The difference between Microsoft email servers and email servers that you would buy from just some off hosting company like SiteGround is that Microsoft, for whatever reason, has an insanely high deliverability rate. Why that is, I don't know. I would just imagine that a lot of the infrastructure that the planet uses when it comes to business is supported by Microsoft. Every time you go to an ATM machine, every time you go to a cash register, every time you go anywhere in any physical business, those transactions often have something to do with Microsoft, whether it's the computer or the OS. I don't know if you remember at this time of date, January 26, 2025. It was probably about 6 months. No, not six, about 3 months ago. There was a major issue where a lot of businesses went down because a glitch in the Microsoft update. Well, that's just an example of how businesses use Microsoft. So if you can imagine one company serving like maybe a third of the world's major businesses, if not a half or more. If that company offered email service and email servers, they probably make sure that their emails get through and get delivered. And so that is part of the reason that Microsoft has such a phenomenal deliverability rate. And so it can be a little expensive, but if you know what you're doing, it's well worth the investment. But for this example and for what I'm doing with my current campaign, I'm just using my own email servers. And in the next 2 weeks, I should be starting a new campaign with Microsoft servers. So that's that. So the third leg of cold email infrastructure for this example is delivery and the delivery platform. And for me, I use a website called instantly.ai. It's either AI or IO. This AI and IO thing is kind of getting out of hand, but it's kind of cool. I'll probably get a AI or a IO domain name as well. But anyway, I believe it's instantly.ai. And we're going to go into that in a few moments. But that is the website that I use for my email deliverability. And the reason why I like Instantly is simply put that Instantly is a wonderful site because Instantly allows me to have an unlimited number of mailboxes. If I would explain how Instantly works with a comparison or with an analogy, I would compare Instantly to the decision of buying a Porsche versus a minivan. And I'm talking about a two-seater. So a lot of people like Porsche. If you want to look exotic, if you want to look like you got money, Porsche is nice. You may want to live your dream life and live out some fantasy, so you buy a Porsche. But now imagine you have a family of 10. And let's be a little bit more realistic. Let's say it's a family of 5 and a dog and a cat. Not that the cat's going anywhere, but I don't know, maybe you got to take her to the veterinarian. If you got a family of 5 children plus you and your wife, 7 people, and the only car that you have is a 2-seater Porsche, trust me when I say that Porsche will be getting old. Maybe not year 1, maybe not year 2, but when you've got like a toddler, a 2-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 14-year-old, a dog, a cat, and a wife, and yourself, you're going to get some cold looks if the only vehicle your family has is a Porsche. There's going to be some pretty cold and disgruntled comments at the dinner table and some colder looks. And so no matter how beautiful that Porsche is, day by day, the minivan, especially if it's a newer one, will start to look more and more pleasing and appetizing because it's functional and it works for you. And so I used to use a website called Woodpecker, and Woodpecker was great. It had high email deliverability. It was easy to use. I really liked it a lot. But when I said I want to go from 2, 3, 4, 5 email inboxes to 20, 30, 40, 50 email inboxes, instantly AI became incredibly cheaper, a lot more lucrative, and a lot more attractive. So with Woodpecker, it started off at like $40 a month. But that's only if you need 2 or 3 emails. But you can get away sending a good amount of emails and providing and receiving a quality service with $30-$40 for 2 or 3 emails. It worked, and I got results. And I actually got my first client with Woodpecker, and I made probably, between 30,000-40,000 that I collected in 1 month with Woodpecker. But when it was time to upgrade my game, I needed Instantly.ai or something like Instantly. And the difference is the model is different. So with Woodpecker, you can get into the game much cheaper with woodpecker.com. But with Instantly, you can literally 10x the emails that you have for double the price. So you can't get into the game for $30-$40 with Instantly necessarily. But with Instantly, if you just double that to closer to $70-$80-$90, you can have unlimited inboxes, and you're sending damn near unlimited emails. So for double the price, I'm literally sending 10, 20, 30 times the emails. But that's because the platform is different. So both of the sites are nice, but it just depends on what you're using them for. And so I gave you that long drawn out example just to say that when you're looking for platforms to assist you with email deliverability, it just depends on where you are in your business. If you only want to send out, 200-300 emails a day, then Woodpecker is fine, or some website that has that kind of platform is fine. But if you are ready to send out, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 emails in a day, really, let's say 1,500 to 2,000, then Instantly is going to be much better. So that's kind of how that works. A Porsche is a great car. Minivan is a great car too, especially the new ones. They look kind of sleek, but it just depends on functionality. They both work great. It's just where you are as a business. Okay, so we're going to move on. So that's kind of our gist or our idea of cold email infrastructure and how it works from a sky view. And now we are going to get ready to dive in and actually look at the websites and see exactly how they function. Okay, so all right, so here's Porkbun. I actually got logged out. This is why I love Apple. I'm literally just clicking the screen, and as you can see, I am being logged in with a click of a button. You gotta love Apple. Okay, guys, so if I am setting up a campaign for my business, as you guys can see, I got 29 domain names here, so I'm kind of flexing, man. This is just one account. I've got more, and so will you in time. Okay, so let's go to one of my businesses here. This one right here is let's get this to load. Oh, wow, it's loading slow. Okay, guys, so we've got it loaded here. So in this case, we're going to imagine that you purchased a email account. So whatever your company name is, let's say your company is called stickandstones.com. You come to Porkbun and you buy sticksandstones.com. You guys know what that looks like. Most of you watching this video have probably purchased a domain name before. So you buy your domain name, put in your credit card information, goes through. Congratulations, you got a new domain name. You'll get a message from Porkbun probably telling you that your domain name will be set up in about 5 minutes. Once it's set up, you will come to a page like this. And this, what you're looking at, principally is how things work for whether you're on GoDaddy or, whether you're on SiteGround or wherever you're buying your domain names from. There will be an area where you can see all of your accounts. So let's just pretend that this is your account here. There are several different ways that you can connect your domain name to your hosting or to your email server. And that would be the next step. After you purchase your domain name, you then have to connect your domain name to hosting or to an email server. And I'm not going to go into the difference right now. I'm just sharing the concept. So just make note of that. Once you buy a domain, now you have to connect it to someplace to host your website or just host your email server, either or. And so once you do that, you'd come down to whatever your collection of domain names look like, or however that's set up. You can see this is mine right here, all laid out. And you would go to details. And what I am doing for this example is I am doing we'll just call it the second route of hooking up my domain name to my hosting. And there's 2 or 3 ways you could do this. This way that I'm doing it is not the most effective way if you want a high email deliverability. I did not set up MX records. And so just for you to have for your own understanding, if you want high email deliverability, you want to set up and establish something called MX records. I'm not going to go into it in this video. Just go down to YouTube and type in setup email account with MX records. And when you do that, you are adding extra details to your email hosting, which will make it have a much greater deliverability rate in many cases. And so that's something else you need to know. So whether you're using your own hosting like I am to send out emails, or whether you want to send and connect your emails to Microsoft servers, either way, you can hook up the MX records, which is a more detailed way of hooking up your email accounts so that it has higher deliverability. Or you can do what I'm doing if you don't need high deliverability and just connect your name servers to your hosting, which is what I'm doing here, and also unlocking your domain when you first do it. And once you do that, you can then make email accounts on your hosting. So this way that I'm doing it is very fast, but it's not the most effective. I'm literally just adding my name servers from my hosting, which is ns.1siteground.net, ns.2siteground.net, and I'm unlocking my domain. Once I do that, then I go over to SiteGround. This is my hosting. And so you might have hosting with GoDaddy. You might have hosting with some other server. There's like hundreds or thousands of hosting websites out there. And once you point your name servers from your domain provider to your hosting, then you will simply go to new website. Okay. Again, this will look a little bit different for your hosting if you use the hosting route. But yeah, you want to go to new website, and then of course you'd have your domain at a separate domain provider. I'm using Porkbun. Hit select existing domain, and then I type in my website, sticksandstones.com. Of course we don't have that, it's not real, and the SiteGround thinks it's real, and again, I'm just going to click skip and create blank website and finish. All right. Now you're probably asking yourself, how was I able to do all of this if I don't even own sticksandstones.com? And you know, these softwares and these websites and these machines aren't that complex. So my server thinks that it's making me, or it thinks that it's setting up sticksandstones.com, but it's not. What's happening is my server is making a folder on my server called sticksandstones.com. But if I don't actually have the name servers pointed to ns1.siteground.net and ns2.siteground.net, then I'm not going to have sticksandstones.com. Whoever owns sticksandstones.com does have name servers, and those name servers are pointed to the hosting that they use. It's not me, but I can have a folder named sticksandstones.com, and if whoever owns it sent their name servers to ns1.siteground.net and ns2.siteground.net, then I would be hosting sticksandstones.com, or whatever I had in that folder would show up. But of course, their name servers aren't pointed to me, so you won't see what I have in my hosting for sticksandstones.com. So I'm hoping you guys are learning a little bit more about how the internet works. But anyway, that's how that would get done. So I'll delete that at another time. So I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to show you guys how I actually make, or how you would actually make, a email account. And then after that, we are going to hook up that email account to instantly.ai. Okay, so let me go back to my list of websites. Okay, here. All right, guys. So as you can see, my website or my server has sticksandstones.com, which is not the real sticksandstones.com. It's just a folder on my server. I'm going to go ahead and delete it, because as you can see, I have a lot of folders and I don't need to be confusing myself. Oh, heads up, guys. So this server that I have, since I am renting a cPanel or server space from SiteGround, generally I think it's like $15 a month or something like that to have your own server where you can make as many websites as you want, or have your own space on a server to where you can make as many websites as you want. It's generally around $15 a month for cPanel services, anywhere I think between like $10 to $50 depending on what you get. I got mine on a Black Friday sale, so I literally paid $3 a month to have the ability to make as many websites as I want, as many emails as I want, and have my own cPanel. And so that was on sale for $3 a month. I paid $30 for the year. And just, you know, if you want to invest in your own cPanel, be on the lookout. You can get great deals for it. And SiteGround has generally been doing well. I think my deliverability rate for my email campaigns that I use with SiteGround and SiteGround's email servers, I think my deliverability rate is probably about 70%, which is, you know, it works for me, but I'll be setting up a campaign with Microsoft soon. Okay, guys, so let's use a example. So I actually have a corporation that I recently set up, Ally Consulting Group, or Ali Consulting Group Online. We are going to come in here and we're going to set up some email accounts. Actually, we're going to do one email account, and then we're going to hook that up to instantly.ai, which is our email distribution. I'm going to come back here to our diagram just to show you guys what that looks like. So we started off on Porkbun domains, which is where we purchased our sticksandstones.com. And now we hooked up the name servers from SiteGround, and we have Porkbun domains, which has our theoretical sticksandstones.com, and we are pointing it to my server in cPanel at SiteGround. And now that it is pointed to the cPanel at SiteGround, we made a website for it, a theoretical website. And now that we have a website, we are going to make emails. And once those emails are made, or the email is made, we're then going to go to instantly.ai or whatever delivery platform that you have. So just kind of want to give you guys a bird's eye view of where we are and how things are functioning. So let's dive back into SiteGround. Okay, so email accounts. We're going to go to email accounts. And again, whatever server you have, whether you are renting an email account or email accounts from Microsoft's email servers, or you are renting your own cPanel with your own email servers at that cPanel, wherever you're doing this at, this is going to be the general layout. There's generally a place where you can come and see about the domain. You can come and see the emails that you set up, and you can generate new emails. Okay, so a lot of this stuff is kind of universal. It looks different, but it's kind of universal. All right, guys, so let's get to it. So, man, that's interesting. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do Eli. You see it says account name. We can add our account name to the email. We're going to do Eli.R for my last name. Eli.R. And we're going to do a password. And so the password is going to be password 123. Okay. And we're going to hit create. Oh, guys, it looks like our password was too weak. Let's try again. So we're going to do password special symbol, special character at 123. There we go. It looks better for the system. And we're going to hit create. Okay, so as you can see, we got a message here. It says email account eli.r at aliconsultinggrouponline.com is created. That's a very long domain name, but for the purpose of that business, it does not have to be short. Okay, guys, so if we scroll down here, you can see the system is showing us the space that we have, and we've used 0 megabytes. In the space that we have used, in the space that we have, is 512 megabytes. So if you have your own cPanel, you can actually edit how big you want your email inboxes to be. At siteground.com, it just starts you off at 512 megabytes, and I can make it much bigger. But again, I've got a lot of emails, a lot of inboxes, guys, so 512 is fine for right now. I'll probably have to make it bigger in the future, but for this example, this works. So, okay, we got this here. We got this here. So now what we're going to do, guys, is theoretically, since we now have, let's go back to the diagram. In our cold email infrastructure campaign, we now have went to our domain provider, okay, which is Porkbun, and we purchased a domain, and we set up a domain, and then we sent the name servers to SiteGround. We went to SiteGround, which is my cPanel and email hosting, and we made a new domain name. And now that new domain name is made, and that email is made, we are sending and hooking up that email to instantly.ai, which is our delivery platform. And so in our cold email infrastructure campaign, we've touched on domain providers, we've touched on email hosting and how you get that set up, and now we're going to touch on the delivery platform and how we actually deliver this content. So let's get on inside of instantly.ai. All right, let's see here, guys. Excuse my slow computer, and I hope this fan is not bothering you. I got a notification here. Okay. All right. All right, guys. Okay, so let's get back to it. So this is so wild. So I just want to show you guys something. It's a total side note. I want to show you guys why I'm with Instantly.ai. So if I was still with Woodpecker, to have what I have right now with Instantly AI would probably cost me $700 a month. But again, Woodpecker is valuable. Instantly AI is valuable. They just have two different functions and they serve two different segments of the market. That's the only thing. Their purpose in the market, when I say functions, I mean their purpose in the market is different. So I'm scrolling down because I'm trying to show you guys something. And so this is going to take a few more seconds. I can sing. Whoever's watching this and thinking I can't sing, I can sing for the record. Okay, all right, so no, seriously. Okay, so we've loaded up all the domain, guys. So what I'm going to do is I just want to show you guys something. So I'm going to do a search. And in that search, I'm going to put in the words Ali or ALI. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but there is 127 matches right here. My mouse is for the word Ali. And what that's saying is that I have about 127 email accounts that the word Ali is inside. Or in so many words, the word Ali has been found on this web page 127 times, which is absolutely insane. And then I've also have another domain name, Advanced Lead Gen AI. So I'm going to go to advanced, and you can see how many times that's found. So the word advanced is found 45 times, which is just saying that I have 45 different email accounts with the word advanced. So I'm pushing 200 emails, total. And that's just a testament to how long I've been doing what I've been doing, and, how you can, progress in the game of cold email infrastructure and cold email marketing. So just a little FYI, guys. If I was at Woodpecker, all these domains, I'd be close to, I'd probably be close to paying $1,000 a month. But again, Woodpecker was valuable because it allowed me to get into the game at a very affordable price. So let's get back to it, guys. So we want to connect our domain name our email account to our delivery platform, which is Instantly.ai. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to add new. Okay, so once you're on Instantly.ai, and again, you're probably not going to use Instantly. You might be using Woodpecker. You might be using Instantly. You might be using one of the many competitors of Instantly.ai. But whoever you're using, when you get to the page where you are adding a new address or email account, you are going to see several different options. So let me see here. Pre-warmed accounts. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what that is. But done for you email setup and connect existing account. This is a pretty much universal setup that we've got right here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to connecting or connect existing account. And if you are using a Gmail and you are having your business hosting from Gmail, then you'd use Gmail. Now, I believe Gmail stopped doing business hosting, or I think they stopped hosting business emails, and they sold that to another website. I don't know, but last time I checked, they did. If we had Office 365, or that's Microsoft, those are Microsoft servers, then you could click this button here. You can, pop in your domain name. But if you are using your own cPanel and you have your own hosting, and it's not, the big three or Google or Microsoft, you're going to come down here to IMAP and SMTP. Okay, so when I am uploading my email accounts, there is one of two routes. Okay. The first route is bulk delivery with CSV files. The second route is single account delivery, where we're just uploading a single account at a time. On the last page, or the previous page, where we seen probably close to 150, 160, 70 emails that I had, oftentimes I use bulk import. And so I would import a CSV file, which is like a spreadsheet in so many words. CSV is just another format or another way to say spreadsheet. And so one of the things you can do is when you do have dozens of emails, you can actually upload all of those emails via a spreadsheet, meaning you just put in the username, you put in the password, and you literally are uploading that content through a spreadsheet. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys something. So yeah, let's go back here. So as you guys can see on Porkbun, this is one of my Porkbun accounts. There's a lot of domains here. And when we go back to SiteGround, go to my account. Oh crap. Oh guys, my camera's acting up here. Okay. All right. That's a part 2. We hook up this name servers to SiteGround. Once they were hooked up to SiteGround, we then made an email account from SiteGround, and now that email account is going to be connected to instantly.ai. So let's log back into Instantly and let's start the process of connecting our domain names. All right, here we go here. All right, so we're going to hit add new. Okay, and now we're going to go to IMAP and STMP, single account, and we're going to go now back to SiteGround and get the email account address, which was eli.r@aliconsultinggrouponline.com. Yes, that is a very long domain name, but it is also very worth it. It has its purpose. Okay, so all right guys, so first name Eli, last name Roberts, that'll be whatever your name is. Then we hit paste. Our email, we hit next, and we're going to enter the same password that we used on SiteGround, which was password @123. Now for IMAP website, I generally just put my domain name. Okay. As you can see here, the system is hinting at me just simply adding imap.website.com, but we're not going to do that. I'm actually going to just place my domain name. For some reason, it might work for you. Whenever I place imap.my web domain, it never works, so I just add my web domain. And we're going to hit next. So it says IMAP successful. Now we're going to set up our SMTP. Okay, web domain, same password. As you can see, the SMTP ports are already set. Then we're going to hit submit. SMTP successful, and now we should be taken back to the email accounts page. And there you go. So we have our email right here and Instantly, and it's one of, I don't know, all but 140 other emails, getting ready to go to work and make sweet, sweet money and bring in clients and help us to reach our objectives. So we're going to get ready to close this video out, guys, but I just want to mention one other part. Let's go back to the diagram. Now, I didn't add a particular principle. Actually, there's two chief principles to cold email infrastructure campaigns that's not on this diagram, but this diagram is a very basic diagram. One is there should be something on here that mentions email warm-ups. You see, once you get your email or your email account and Instantly or whatever delivery platform you have, you want to begin warming it up. Now, Instantly.ai has an email warming service, so I warm my emails in Instantly. But if your email delivery or your delivery platform does not have a service to warm emails, you would want to warm your emails before you connect them to your delivery platform. And I'll go into what warming up emails is on another video, but in so many words, it's just like it sounds. When you buy a new domain name and you make a new email, as you're sending and receiving emails to other servers, your email has a signature or information that is with it, and the other servers that your email is emailing will be able to see if that email is seasoned, right? And so if that email does not have a lot of history to it, or if it has an abnormal history to it, it could be red flagged. And once it gets red flagged by another server, then you can be listed as spam and find yourself in the spam mailbox. However, when you begin the process of warming up emails, you decrease the risk of that happening significantly. So, that's a principle that's not on this diagram, is the idea of warming up emails. That's not here. Another principle to cold email infrastructure is leads. So we actually didn't discuss leads, but you would also need leads to put inside of the delivery platform, which is Instantly AI. So we didn't go over that today, but we will make videos, or I will have videos about those specific parts of a cold email infrastructure in the future, and then we'll eventually do a cold email infrastructure video that even encompasses those elements as well. But what you have here today is truly the basics of what it takes to get a pretty simple cold email campaign up and going. And from here you can refine it and use MX records, use Microsoft domains, warm them. Oh, and another thing, guys, I'm sorry. Okay, so there's another element that's not on this chart, and that is email verification. I use a website for email verification that charges me by the second. So every second that goes by, I actually verify another email. So if I have a list of 1,500 emails, I'll generally have that list verified in about 20 minutes, give or take. And that is another thing. You want your emails cleaned and verified, because if they're not cleaned and they're not verified, then you also will eventually end up on the spam list if you have too many bounced emails. So that's pretty much that, guys. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and close out this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it was helpful, and I hope that it gives you a better idea of the principles that it takes to be successful with cold email and to set up your first cold email infrastructure. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. I do respond, and feel free to leave a like and a subscribe as well for the channel. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave it, and we will be in touch. Thanks. Have a great day, and talk to you soon.